An update on the City of New Buffalo and the Galien River Sanitary District. History. The Galien River Sanitary District sewer plant is a 3 million gallon a day wastewater treatment facility. Established in 1978 under the supervision of Berrien County. Establishment of the GRSD authority occurred in 1986, transferring control of the plant to the City of New Buffalo Township, and Chickaming Township. In 2000, the Articles of Incorporation for the authority were redrawn to include the City of Bridgman and Lake Charter Township. Since 1978, the plant has only had 4 superintendents. 1978 through 2010, 32 years. 2010 through 2017, 7 years. 2017 through 2019, 2 years. And 2019 through 2024. Data indicates a period of financial and technical instability began in 2010 and continued through 2019. The City of New Buffalo also had 6 city managers between 2010 and 2019. Historical challenges for the City of New Buffalo. Until June 2022, the city had historically charged every water customer a ready-to-serve fee based on the standard 5/8-inch water service. This was contradictory to the reality that many homes and businesses had much larger water services. Standard practice is that ready-to-serve costs are calculated by service size. Since 2017, the loss of this revenue to the sewer fund is over $1 million. In 2018, the city and the GRSD had a billing dispute over extremely high sewer flows sent to the plant beyond our allowed capacity, resulting in penalties to the city in excess of $1 million. While a solution was reached due to a faulty meter at the plant, this was not the reason for the charges. The faulty meter only meant that the plant could not provide the data to back up the charges, not that the flows were incorrect. The key cause of the issue was the amount of lake water in the city sewer system due to high lake levels. From 2000 to 2019, the New Buffalo City Council did not regularly vote to pass on the plant's yearly 3% cost increases to city customers. The 2017 SAW grant alerted the city to this problem. The advice was not taken, and this resulted in the slow attrition in the sewer fund balance. This came to a head in 2021, when the plant's billing methodology changed, resulting in a projection of negative $300,000 in the sewer fund balance for the following year. This is ultimately what led to the 2022 rate increases. Aging infrastructure. Most of the city sewers are beyond the recommended lifespan of the material. Estimates are as high as 80% of our system is at least 50 years old, while 60% has the potential to be up to 80 years old. The city has never had a strategic asset plan to address the city's sewage system. This chart is a representation of the GRSD's current operational organization. Each member and their current responsible percentage is shown in a colored section of the chart. The plant is served by 3 main interceptors. Each interceptor is shared by 2 members of the authority. The interceptors, their corresponding lift stations, and the processing plant make up the total of the GRSD's assets. The economization of use of shared interceptors is currently the basis for GRSD authority operations. This is different than the original intent stated in the Articles of Incorporation, which simply state to acquire, own, improve, enlarge, extend, and operate a sewage disposal system. Over the many years, managing the cost of the system versus the number of customers it serves has become the primary goal of the authority. It is reasonable to ask the question, what happens when the shared cost of economization become greater than what would be a municipality's individual cost? Ownership, flow, and billing. Percentage of ownership between the 5 municipalities making up the GRSD is established by a sewer service agreement, which considers the metered sewer flow sent and treated from each municipality as a 1/5 representation of total operational costs. Municipalities are billed by the GRSD monthly and paid from the sewer fund. Municipalities bill their residents a monthly or bi-monthly fee for sewer costs. Those payments go directly to replenish the sewer fund. City sewer billing is based on your water use. All water used by any residence or business is considered and billed as wastewater. Non-potable water uses, lawn, garden, pool, etc., should have a separate water meter. This model was the standard until billing strictly on flow no longer covered plant costs. This was caused by the reduction of inflow and infiltration, otherwise known as I&I, in the system. The City of New Buffalo took steps to eliminate ground and lake water from its sewer system. This greatly reduced our flow, which was done in an effort to lower sewer costs, and the city was successful. However, when combined with receding lake levels, all municipalities' flows decreased to the point the plant could not operate solely on billing directly from incoming flow. This forced the authority to change its billing methodology and to calculate flow on a 3-year average. That average then became the percentage share of operational costs to be paid monthly by each member. Bonds and capital improvements. The GRSD is currently holding $19 million in bonds. In the next 4 years, the GRSD will pay off $10 million of those current bonds. The system includes not just the plant, but over 600 miles of infrastructure, including 74 lift stations. The maintenance and upkeep of the plant, pipe, and lift stations is a continuous expense that must be budgeted and funded in addition to the plant's operational costs. The GRSD calls this allocation the Capital Improvement Plan, or CIP. New bond requests will be made over the next 5 years to cover CIP costs, totaling $20 million. Keeping rates under control. The 3-year rolling average for the City of New Buffalo has decreased. However, GRSD capital improvement costs and the need to fund them is a major concern for the City of New Buffalo. Residents should expect a yearly 3% increase in the sewer portion of their sewer, water, and garbage bill. This is passed on by the authority and represents common cost of living, inflationary, and supply chain cost increases. Residents should find solutions for non-potable water uses by installing secondary meters or wells. While this has an upfront cost, it has an immediate long-term savings effect on sewer costs if you are using large amounts of non-potable water. The City of New Buffalo must be extremely diligent before agreeing to long-term financial commitments via bonds. City officials and authority members need to invest the time and energy to look for state and federal funding for sewer and water that could potentially offset CIP costs. Major concerns. Future bond liabilities will eventually create additional costs that will be passed on to customers, thereby increasing rates. City sewer infrastructure is outdated, in disrepair, and needs major updates. This is in addition to other GRSD costs. Ideally, diligent management of our sewer fund will cover these repairs, but it is possible these costs could also lead to further rate increases. City infrastructure is restricting capacity, not capacity at the treatment plant. With the new billing method and new equipment installation, there is processing capacity at the plant, but getting our sewage to the plant is restricted by our own infrastructure capabilities. New Buffalo Township is currently sharing the New Buffalo Interceptor with all its wastewater from all points south along US 12 to the state line. The recent commercial expansion of the US 12 corridor has allowed dozens of new commercial uses. The future impact on our own sewer capacity is unknown. While currently minimal, future uses of these new properties could threaten development in the city of New Buffalo. Forward thinking. The city of New Buffalo should choose to create a sewer department. Limited in scope, its responsibilities would be to work in conjunction with the city manager to help create and implement a strategic asset management plan for updating city sewer infrastructure. The city representative on the GRSD Authority Board should submit monthly reports to the City Council for review. The City Council should carefully deliberate any new bond initiatives and create city-specific sewer policies to protect taxpayers and future development. The city should seek funding for the Strategic Asset Management Plan through state and federal agencies and work with our state and federal representatives to follow through on applications and requests for earmarks. The GRSD authority has the ability to tax. Would a yearly tax that offsets CIP costs from our sewer fund be advantageous to New Buffalo City residents? This should be explored. The City of New Buffalo should seek agreement with New Buffalo Township that it no longer use the New Buffalo Interceptor to access the sewer plant. Thank you. This concludes this presentation.